The economic variables will work against you. Now, let's take, for example, the fuel prices and the petrol pump. I introduced Naira for dollar change. Yes. For weeks, they didn't want to comply. They were arguing with me. Free. Okay, leave it to free market. I left it. I left it. Now the prices are coming down gradually. Yes. Okay. The market is being saturated. No monopoly, no oligopoly. You have a free market economy flowing, and people are learning management. My friend used to have about, he bragged to me, he has a five Rolls Royce. He brought a nice Jeep here. The other day, I saw him in his Honda Accord. Oh, he said, why? He said, that's where you put me. I said, I didn't put you there. He said, that is the cost of fuel prices. He could no longer uh, maintain 5 limo type of vehicle. It's, it's not negative to learn to manage. You learn to control your electricity bill, switch off the light, let's learn to manage.
Is Nigeria looking to export food commodities to Saudi or other countries?
Oh, sure. Why not? Take advantage of the export and good commodity prices.
But people would say that we're not producing enough for our own consumption.
Yes, we pay attention to that, yes. But I say we will. We will give more incentive to the farmer, low interest rate, borrowing, mechanize the farming. It's not done to go back to my grandfather's method of farming. It's not possible any longer. Let's make it manageable and sexier to stay on the tractor and harvest corn and export commodities. I think it's better for us in Nigeria. We are getting there. I have over 2,000 tractors coming to this country for mechanized farming.
Mr. President, is fighting corruption a priority for you? If it is, what are the areas that you're looking at?
Corruption in all ramifications is bad for the people. But first of all, pay enough attention to the causes. Why are the people corrupt at all? The lack of social amenities, the lack of needs in some areas, lack of funding for their children's education. There are so many anti-corruption mechanisms that you can put in place that will help the people not to be corrupt. Pay them good and living wages. I have moved from 35,000 to 70,000. To me, that's anti-corruption. And if I can earn more, I've given more money to the state and local government level. I've been transparent with my earnings. Every month there is a publication as to how much this country is making.
But Mr. President, it doesn't address grand corruption. There's petty corruption and there's grand corruption. Only recently, the EFCC, published the fact that one person owns 735 houses
Oh.
in Abuja alone. One person.
And we got it. You don't know how long it has started. It did fantastic infrastructure. He had rule of houses, but we got it. That's anti-corruption too. We got it for the public. Disclosure, abilities to stem corruption is part of the instrument of EFCC. That is why they are discovering all sorts of inefficiencies in the system, block all the loopholes where anybody can just game the system. Part of the anti-corruption, removal of subsidy too, is anti-corruption. It is very, very difficult to say you will eliminate it. You will reduce it to the barest minimum. Meet the people's needs. Help the people grow. Help them with the education of their children. Our student loan is part of anti-corruption. No parents should lament how to encourage their children in university education. Today is working for larger populations. Larger part of it, 60-something%. At the University of Maiduguri, I have somebody called, say, imagine a little contribution from my daughter in the university for me to start business. That's part of tuition fee allowances. We are helping one another. The society is moving out of illiteracy to literacy. I enjoyed the debate how many and what type of courses are being offered in the universities these days to improve science, knowledge,
All right. I just thought I should, stream this. I don't know what I would call it, interview. But I guess this is what passes for press conference in Nigeria. Um, what can one call it anymore? It's press conference. They say it's press conference. We agree it's press conference. And what scared me about what the president said about foreign exchange, I don't know, man. These people that are asking questions, I don't know. They are not serious people. Um, the foreign exchange, he literally said they told him to float it and that it was a good idea, something like that. That now the the Nigerian currency is gaining strength. Wow, gaining strength from 800 to 1,500, 1,600 naira to a dollar. Okay, if that is strength. And I don't know how many times he also said that he has been in office for 18 months. 18 that within that 18 months, he has managed to halve the GDP of Nigeria in dollars, almost halve it, not halve it, almost halve it. Almost depreciated the Nigerian currency by more than 50%. This in basically reducing the value of the naira by 2 times over. Then he goes on to lose almost half of the landmass of ECOWAS. And what else did he do that was a disaster? Yeah, I think those three are the biggest problems that he has created under his presidency because of his approach towards the coup plotters. It led to them breaking away from ECOWAS. Because of his attitude towards subsidy removal, it caused a lot of problem. But I don't see the subsidy removal as a major bad policy because subsidy removal on its own is not necessarily a bad thing, given that quite a significant amount of that fuel that we have to pay foreign exchange for goes to the neighboring countries, and Nigerians are losing out on it significantly. So that is not always a good thing, and it's enriching quite a few set of people. However, at the core of it, which I'm a bit surprised, two key areas that these journalists didn't hone in on is the foreign exchange and security. They let him off the hook in those two. They basically breeze past it. Those two things are the two things killing the country right now. When you hear inflation, it's that foreign currency. When you hear people not being wanting to come to Nigeria, it's that security. And this is a man that told us during his presidency, a campaign, that he was going to recruit more into the security forces. Now he's talking about technology and training. That's not what he said in his campaign. That's not what they said at Chatham House. He doesn't want to recruit. He wants to keep our youth on the streets looking for money. When it comes to foreign exchange, he doesn't even know what he's doing. The key question I would have asked him was the cost of paying for the defense of the naira versus the cost of the inflation, job losses, business closures, and hardship that the people have gone through due to the floating of the naira. Which one is more expensive? Let's hear whether he knows his maths. Because if the Nigerian government is spending even $20 billion to defend the currency, the one that he has done now, which one is more costly to the Nigerian people? And why did he decide to do it, knowing full well that the presence of Dangote refinery, the fixing of the Port Harcourt refinery, is going to bring the demand for the dollar down? Why did he choose to float the currency if that is the case? Because then you wouldn't have had to defend the currency anymore. But nobody asked him those questions. They just let him off the hook. He comes and tells us what he thinks. tells us that it's only 18 months. 18 months, Buhari didn't do so much damage in 18 months. The only thing he seems to have prioritized, which I'm not going to say is a bad thing, is paying off foreigners. You can look at it both ways. But if I was the one, was it not the Western economists that said it's better to be the one that is owing than the one that is owed? Because at least you are the one that has got the money. And so, but he seems to be of the opposite mindset, whereby pay off these foreigners first, then let your people suffer. His own economic mindset, personally, I don't think it's well thought through at first. What is happening now, what is beginning to happen now, is something that could have happened in the very first weeks of his presidency, and Nigerians wouldn't have felt that much pain at all. The only pain they would have felt was just that slight increase in petrol. It would have been somewhere around 500 naira or so per liter. The naira should have been kept where it was because Dangote refinery was coming on stream, the Port Harcourt refinery was coming on stream. In other words, the Nigerian naira currency should be appreciating to catch up with it, which means you don't have to defend the Nigerian currency anymore. But are they doing it? No. Either because they know they don't have access to the foreign exchange to defend this into crude oil, I mean, to support Dangote. Maybe they don't have the crude oil to support Dangote refinery because they've sold everything off. Maybe that's why they felt that they cannot rely on Dangote refinery to save them. Because if you're not providing crude oil to Dangote, how are you supposed to sell crude oil to them for naira so that you can make the profit and so that the demand for the foreign currency will come down? How do you do that? Oga, I don't know. I don't know what I should call you. Oga. Oga. You know, there's this Oga in this movie. I think that it's supposed to be some kind of witch or something. The way you talk sometimes, I don't understand you. It's like you are just like, what is that? You and Dangote refinery, because Dangote refinery, do you know, is the only strategic thing Nigeria has done for the last how many decades? The only thing that truly matters to the lives of Nigerians. Something that will reduce our demand for foreign currency, a big demand for it. We are talking about 30 to 40% of demand of foreign currency. And I should not talk about that. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you know how significant that is to the Nigerian economy, to the Nigerian people, to our prospects, to the influence Nigeria is going to wield? Yes, you talk about it. It's just as powerful as a 1 million man standing army. That thing alone. How much is a secure country going to save us? Okay, that's about $50 billion or so. $50 billion is going to save us annually. However, the Dangote refinery is going to save us almost close to that. I think 20 or so billion. And if you take into account that it's going to be any money too coming into the country, it might almost be double that. So why do you have an issue with that? Or you are incapable of thinking about the importance of that refinery? I knew that already. And the fact that Dangote himself said it, why are you arguing over it? Yeah, maybe, but you are saying he's going to export the product, but maybe he shouldn't. Isn't that what we should be arguing for? Maybe this president should be doing everything in his power to make sure Dangote supplies all his products. Let's put it this way: let him supply Nigeria all Nigeria needs. Dangote is capable of supplying twice what Nigeria needs. Let me repeat that. Dangote is capable of supplying twice the demand that Nigeria has. So in other words, even if he gives half to Nigeria, he can still sell half to foreigners. Stop being condescending. It doesn't become you. No, I can be condescending to you because you don't seem to be being responsible when it comes to your nation. When some people are talking about something serious, don't just be flippant about it. I don't like when people are being flippant about things that truly matter to millions of millions of people. You know, what went wrong with the streaming on Dr. Damages? Oh, did it go down? I don't know. I think it's supposed to be on. If you cannot see it on Dr. Damages, you can always go to True Niger. It's on True Niger just fine. I think Dr. Damage is supposed to be on. I can see that it's still on here. I don't know. You can always continue watching at True Niger. This is right there. I don't know. Let me see if I can share the link just in case. So yeah, as I was saying, Dangote refinery is important. Foreign exchange is very, very important. Foreign exchange is running circles around Nigerian businessmen right now. A lot of Nigerians lost money. I really feel sorry for Nigerian businesses. Can you imagine you're running your business? Suddenly, the price to buy your computers, buy anything foreign, doubles, more than doubles. You know how bad that is? Or you want to go and buy anything from overseas, you have to pay double now. And your debts, if it's in dollars, you are in trouble. You are operating in Nigeria, but your debts are in dollars. You have to now pay double naira. Where do you get that money? Do you use human ritual or whatever they call it? So yeah, they both are on Dr. Damages, I think. Let me see. Yeah, there's Dr. Damages that is on. I'm streaming to my channel too, so it's on both. So you can check on True Niger, and I'll probably end it on Dr. Damages and move to True Niger if one runs out of time. It went off shortly, but he's back on Dr. Damages. Okay, good. He's back on the. I don't know why that happened actually. Sometimes YouTube is a bit funny like that, or maybe StreamYard, who knows? So, as I was saying, the way the president talked about the foreign exchange, it looks like most of the journalists they don't truly understand the full damage this president did with that foreign exchange. That they don't even understand it. If I was them, I will just sit on that foreign exchange issue and security issue and not move. Because at the core of things, those are the things that will fix all the other things they talked about. If you want to invest in agriculture, if you want to invest in education, if you want to invest in healthcare, manufacturing, that at the core of it is those things. If you can't fix your foreign exchange don't get the right value for your foreign exchange, if you cannot get the right value for if you cannot get your goods a proper secure environment, forget it. Who is going to come and invest there? Where inflation is 30 to 40%, who wants to be in that kind of environment? You buy something today, in next year the price has more than double. Who wants that? So you can see why it's a difficult environment to operate. And sometimes the way for the first time, I worry that this president may not be as clever as I thought. For the first time. Because you know why I said that? Is because he appeared actually honest about what he was saying. He made it sound as if the floating of the currency was a benign thing. Like it wasn't a bad thing at all. That's why I would have asked him that question. The amount it costs to defend the Nigerian naira versus the amount it has cost to flow the currency. Which one is worse? That's the question. It's a simple question. If you are spending 10 billion, 20 billion to defend the naira, how much do you think this your floating of the currency has cost the Nigerian economy? How much? Because I know it has cost the Nigerian economy, in terms of just petrol alone, almost $7 billion. And NNPC came and revealed that information. Because they removed the fuel subsidies, which was supposed to mean no more money spent on fuel subsidies, isn't it? But because he went and floated the currency, and they know they cannot increase the price of petrol to over 1,000 naira within a short period of time, they had to start subsidizing it again. And that cost us almost $7 billion. Who held him accountable there? Nobody. How can you lose $7 billion and you don't ask your president about that? So you made Nigerian people suffer for over a year for something you said you removed, but you had to still pay for it because of what you did. It cost us $7 billion. So that alone, so now we're talking about $7 billion. Let's say they were spending 20 billion defending the currency. They've already spent $7 billion on petrol alone, subsidies. So in other words, from 20, it's now 13 remaining that the damage is done. If you take into account the amount they spent, you didn't know that they borrowed money to defend the currency again. Let me repeat that. They borrowed money to stabilize the currency they floated. At least I know about 2 point something billion that they borrowed regarding that. So that's about 2 point something billion. Add to that. That's going to 10 billion. Are we going to talk about the job losses, inflation, businesses closing? Do you know how many businesses shut down? Do you know how many companies lost money? Real estate. The cost to now buy things, all the things we have to buy overseas with our naira cost double. So anything outside petrol that Nigeria had to buy, it cost Nigerians twice. If we take all that into account, so if you ask him, removing that, floating that currency versus defending it, which one was more expensive? If he told you that defending the naira is more expensive, then he doesn't know his maths. Because you damage the economy for what? To what end? Because in the end, what is going to fix the Nigerian economy is still the reduction of demand of the foreign currency. Is still the increase in supply of that foreign currency. In other words, somebody needs to start manufacturing. And guess what? Dangote, one man. You can say whatever you like. Nigerians don't get heroes now and again. Dangote may be crazy for working with Bill Gates, which I dislike. The idea of GMO and whatever Bill Gates is after in our healthcare system. I'm not for that. And I worry that Dangote is working with him. However, on this oil business, Dangote is a hero. Make no mistake. How can one man be responsible for such a big difference in a nation's life? How can one man do that? This one man now has the potential of reducing the demand for foreign currency by 30 to 40%. One man did that, not the president, one man. Then he might even be able to earn, that's in other words, he reduces demand and increases supply. By selling his petroleum products, he can earn currency. Question is whether he's going to even put the money in Nigeria. I don't even know. Because all these people in Nigeria, they are crazy. Everything they do, they don't do it to benefit their people. God knows whether he's putting the money in Nigeria when he earns the money, whether he takes it and puts it overseas. Because if he's putting it overseas, then Nigerians are not going to see the benefit of that. Because we are supposed to get the income from the petrol in through the central bank, so that the central bank will now have it in dollars, and all that goes into our foreign reserve. So we have more supply in dollars. We have, especially Dangote doesn't have to buy crude oil from overseas. So he doesn't have to use his money now, the profit he makes or the income he makes to buy crude oil anymore, because Nigeria is supplying that crude. So this is why I find that very important, because that's one of the few things that has actually come to fruition in Nigeria. Very few things actually come to fruition. Everything else just fades. It just fades. And this guy could earn money and reduce demand for the foreign currency. That is a good thing. I also like the law that somebody wanted to pass recently regarding banning the use of foreign currency in Nigeria. If you do that, that's also going to reduce demand. The naira should be appreciating. If the naira appreciates to somewhere 800 naira to $1, now you know the economy has recovered. Yeah, and it should be like that. It really should be like that. You know that this president said, I don't know whether I remember him saying it directly or I saw him in a video, where he said he expects the currency to appreciate to around 1,500 naira. Ah, 1,500 naira. Then, okay, can you do the numbers for me? Because if it is costing Buhari, let's say 10 to 20 billion dollars to defend the naira, that's, in other words, all the demand Nigerians need, it costs the Nigerian economy 10 to 20 billion dollars. So it means if you cut out 30% of that demand, that we're talking about defending the currency, the extra they have to spend to defend the currency because they don't have enough is 10 to 20 billion dollars. Now, if somebody cuts out all our purchases from overseas, thus, in other words, our imports, and I think Nigeria's import is somewhere around 30 or more billion dollars. If somebody cuts that out, 30% of it, it means the money you spend on foreign exchange will reduce significantly. If that is true, that the foreign exchange that you're going to spend is going to reduce, it means you're not going to spend up to $20 billion or $10 billion defending the currency anymore. So now you have less burden to spend money. You could even have decided to do what they call managed depreciation. So in other words, if you do managed depreciation, let's say it was around 700 naira to a dollar when the president took over, this current president, he depreciated it to around 800 naira to a dollar. Now he doesn't have to defend the naira by $10 billion anymore. He can reduce that to around $5 billion that he has to defend the naira by, or $6 billion. Compared to what they've done with the Nigerian economy, if you even look at the fact that they deterred so many businesses from coming to Nigeria because of all the upheaval in the market, the cost to the Nigerian economy is well more than $50 billion. This crazy approach to economy. I probably need to do a more in-depth analysis on this to truly get to the bottom of the cost of floating that currency the way it was done. Just by extrapolation, I know it cost us at least $10 billion. This one is from subsidies and loans that I know that we're taking to cushion the effect of floating this currency. I know $10 billion already. So half of the money they spent on defending foreign, this thing is gone. So then why are you, now if that demand has gone away, the point I was trying to make before was that if that demand has gone away, let's say Dangote starts selling crude oil. I think they say it's operating at 85% now. He starts selling a lot of petroleum products to Nigeria, and Nigeria is giving crude oil because Nigeria's crude oil output has increased too. I don't even understand why they are not supplying everything he needs. So if our Nigerian crude oil output has increased, why are you giving the increase to the foreigners still? Give it to Dangote, let him process now. Then if that demand has reduced, and Dangote is now supplying, and you are saying the Nigerian currency should remain at 1,500. Why? Why was it able to be sustainable at 800 and something naira to a dollar? Why was it sustainable once? Now it's no longer sustainable. It has to remain at 1,500. Why? If the forces that were demanding the dollar go away, then why is the currency now 1,500? I don't understand it. Because you were spending $20 billion to defend the currency. And now you don't have to do that anymore. Then why is the naira still remaining almost 90 to 95% of the worst value it's ever achieved? Why has it not come back to where it was before? It doesn't make sense to me. I need somebody to educate me on this. Anybody that knows about the economics can type it in the this thing in the chat, because it just doesn't add up. I'm trying to think of a simpler analogy of this. Let me see how I can think about this in a simpler way. Because if you have like a home now, and you need to pay a mortgage. So because of the mortgage you are paying, you are spending about $500 every month to pay the mortgage. So after that mortgage is paid off, why is the demand? Do you still have to be paying the 500 naira? Why do you have to still keep doing that? You should be getting extra 500 naira in your pocket every month. So that's what I don't understand. Why is the currency not going back to where it was before? Even with all the spending that the government used to use to defend it. But now the need to spend all that money to defend it has gone away. So why is it not going back there? This guy has no clue about energy economics. Okay, Oga, you see, it's easy for you to just insult, eh? But the only thing, you don't give anybody answers. Can you tell me why the currency doesn't go back to where it was before? I really need to understand it, because I thought it's a seesaw thing. You take if there's a reason why your currency depreciates, if that reason goes away, your currency should appreciate back to where it was before, isn't it? So why is it not going back? Why is it not going back if demand goes away? I expect if Dangote starts supplying Nigeria petroleum products, almost supplying, and let's put it this way, it doesn't matter whether it's Dangote, let's put it that way. Let's say the Nigerian need for energy and petroleum products is met by locally sourced products that don't require us to spend $1. If that is met, then why is the currency not, why should we not expect the currency to go back to around 800 naira? Where's the demand coming from that is still keeping the currency so high? I know we need production. Is that not a big production? Dangote alone is doing both. That's what I just said just now. Dangote is reducing demand for the dollar, and it's also producing. One guy. Do you know, when I check, if in short, I will search that thing out. When I checked how much Nigeria earns from exports, almost 90-something% of them, of our earning, is from petroleum products. 90-something% of our earnings. Let me share that. Nigeria foreign reserve for Nigeria earnings from exports. These are earning from exports. Let's see. Okay, Nigeria exported in 2022. Nigeria exported goods worth $70 billion, and petroleum products make up $52 billion out of that. This is petroleum, 52 billion. Then gas, 79 billion. I mean, 9 billion. So that makes it about 61 billion out of 70. It's just on gas. Then now you go down to refined petroleum, 1 billion. So that's an extra 62 billion out of 70 billion. So can you imagine that? Out of 70 billion, just 62 billion is just on petroleum products for exports. It's almost as if we barely export anything else. Let me see what else is on the list here. 52, 9, and this one is 2 billion. Okay, fertilizer. I don't know. I think fertilizer, you got, okay. Oh, fertilizer is Dangote, isn't it? That's that. Okay, you see, that's one man again. Oh, Dangote again, fertilizer, 2 billion. And what else? So if I count 52, 9, and that makes it 61. 61 plus 2, 63. 63 plus 1, we are looking at 64 billion. And so look at all the $64 billion out of 70 is practically all from petroleum products. that we earn. That is all we do. And now, if Dangote now is able to process these goods, these products, quite a lot of them, some of them, he's not only 2 billion he's going to be earning for Nigeria. He's going to be able to sell equivalent to about maybe 5, 10, 20 billion dollars. I'm not sure the specific amount actually, because if Dangote can produce twice the amount Nigeria consumes, and the amount we import is around 20 to 30 billion dollars every year on petroleum, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. I don't want to talk nonsense here. Total Nigerian imports of petroleum products. Let's see. So as you can see, it's $20 billion we spend every year importing petroleum products. So if we spend $20 billion importing petroleum products, and you look at so if we are doing that and Dangote takes that away, wow, that's going to wipe out the. Sure, let me find out the amount the Nigerian government spend defending the naira. The way people keep shouting all the time. Total Nigeria spent on defending the naira. All right. Let's see. And past leaders spent 100 million to defend naira. That's Facebook. That's million or billion. That's crazy. That's not something. We don't even have that money. Stop talking nonsense. Let's see. CBN spent. Wow, that is not a lot. $380 million to defend the naira. No. It has to be more than that. I think, is that monthly or something? Okay, this is Nigeria was spending 1.5 billion monthly to defend the naira. So if it's 1.5 billion monthly, so per annum is going to be somewhere around 18 billion. So that my estimate of 20 billion is quite accurate. And our import of petroleum is 20 billion. So in other words, Dangote could literally wipe out all their excuses to float the currency. So if he could do that, then why is our currency still 1,500 naira to $1? I'm still asking that question. Now they don't have to defend the dollar, the naira anymore. So what is the problem? Why not just bring it back to 700, 800 naira that used to be? Let me see what this guy is saying. Because you have too much demand. No, we don't. Okay, yeah, we have demand. Okay, let me just read your comment. Now you are trying to be reasonable. You are actually going to the topic. How much do Nigerians say pay for sending kids? Yeah, that one is easy to stop now. The Nigerian government can stop them from sending their kids overseas. If you want to send your kids overseas, go and get your own dollar. I'm just telling you, if you near CBN to go and pay all this thing for you, you're going to have a problem. If you want to send your children overseas, get your own dollar from overseas. Maybe your children should go and work in McDonald's. Work a little bit in McDonald's, B&Q, maybe Amazon warehouse. Then they can pay their school fees. Why are you demanding the naira so I go and kill the demand for us? We don't need that drama. Luxury yes, please. To be fair, we spend money on all these things. I'm not sure it's that much. I will check the amount we spend on these things. But Nigerians, we like to think that Nigerians are very rich. We don't have that much money to spend. Where are we going to get the money? We don't spend as much as we like to think. So the worst amount I've seen, the highest estimate I've seen that the Nigerian government spends on defending the naira is $1.5 billion. And even that can be wiped out by Dangote refinery. So again, I will repeat the question. If Dangote refinery can wipe out all that demand, then why is in naira 1,500? Why is in naira 1,500? This is my concern, that Nigerians don't know when they are being sabotaged. They don't know when they are being sabotaged, when they are being lied to, when they are being stolen from. They are stealing their wealth, and they don't know why. Because just 2 years ago, the naira was about 600 naira to a dollar officially, and in the black market was around 800 naira. So what has just happened suddenly that it has to be 1,500? What magic has made that happen? I've said it before. If Dangote is fully start supporting and supplying petrol to Nigeria, which they should, but you can never trust this government to allow that to happen. You can never trust this government to give them the crude oil that they need. But if they did, and the naira doesn't go back to 800 naira to a dollar, you know something, these people are not there to help you. They are going to make sure the country doesn't grow. They are going to, no matter what you do, they will find a way to sabotage it to make sure, until you remove them. Because he said it, the president said it relatively almost flippantly, like, oh, they said he should float the naira, and he thought that this was the right thing to do, so he just did it, and look at it, the naira is appreciating every time. And his own ambition was to bring it down to 1,500 naira. Like, it's a good thing. Why? Why does it have to become so expensive for Nigerians to buy anything? Because do you know why I really feel strongly about this? Because if the naira goes down to around 800 naira to a dollar, guess where the petrol price is going to be? It's going to be around 400 naira per liter. Nigerians will feel better. They will be able to buy, and businesses in Nigeria will be able to buy equipment from overseas that they need to innovate. And one thing I will say about this government is that they are not as draconian in controlling innovation as the previous government. So if you want to enable an innovative environment, then enable the Nigerians to be able to procure things from overseas. Can you imagine, if somebody wanted to buy something from me from overseas before, they will say, oh, how much is that item? I'll tell them the item is 50,000 naira. Today, they come and tell me the item again. I'll say the item is around 150,000 naira. It's like, it's crazy. The price, because of the foreign exchange, the price it will cost them more. And their life hasn't changed that much in Nigeria. So let me read some of the comments. Then you stop your government officials too. Yeah. I think you have to stop excess demand for the foreign currency. But personally, if you check our imports, most of it is coming from petroleum. Most of this stuff we talk about, like Nigerian government officials spending money overseas, is not a lot of money they spend. The big box is when it comes to billions upon billions of dollars. How many Nigerians see billions of dollars, really? Let's face it. How many Nigerians see billions of dollars? The entire national budget in Nigeria this year, I think it's amounts to about $27 billion. Where do we get time to? Where do they get money? They are impoverishing themselves so badly they don't even know it. And one other thing the president said that troubled me quite a bit. He said, "We don't spend money in dollars. We spend in naira." So in other words, and that bothered me because I used to think this president was quite smart. Either he's being too smart by heart by saying that, like people are stupid, or he's quite ignorant of it, or I don't know. Because why would you just say I spend money in naira? He knows full well that Nigeria relies on imports. Why you say you spend money in naira? You rely heavily on imports. All those things you want to buy, you have to buy them in dollars. That is the whole point. That's the whole reason why you shouldn't have floated the currency, to make it more expensive for Nigerians to buy those things. For the life of me, when I hear him talk, sometimes I begin to worry that maybe I gave him too much credit because of his certificate. I'm beginning to worry about that, because this is a man that opposed Abacha. I thought I saw them as intelligent people. But all I hear now is slogans. We have to make the sacrifices. We have to do this. It's good we remove subsidies. And they ask him about corruption. He says, that guy that built those properties built excellent properties, but we got it for the Nigerian people. It's like, that is the attitude you want to take to fighting corruption, that he built excellent properties. What kind of attitude is this? I don't know why EFCC, they should just close the EFCC office and wait until the government leaves. The guy is not serious about corruption. Let's face it. The only people they are serious about is people that they don't like. And I get the feeling that the person that owns that property is not part of his gang. That's why they went after him. That question was about budget. Yeah, even if it was about budget, it's still the same thing for him to go and start saying that we spend in Naira. Knowing full well, we spend quite a lot of our money, if not more than half of it, buying things from overseas. We buy things from overseas, and many of our people in Nigeria, even in Nigeria, spend dollars. This is why they want to think about passing a law to ban the use of foreign currency in Nigeria. We spend dollars. Let's face it. So that question will stand. I wish, man, imagine if they put me in that room with the president, my God. I don't care. I don't care. I will ask. I would rather look like a fool than not ask. This removal of this thing, floating of the currency versus not floating it and defending it, which one causes the Nigerian economy more? Especially if you take into account that you just removed subsidies. This is a president that removed subsidies. In other words, you had money in your pocket to an extent. So in other words, you had extra money to defend the Naira. What was the rush to float the currency when you know Dangote refinery was coming? What was the rush? Because you have to pay your foreign debt before anything else. You can still pay your foreign debt. You can depreciate the Naira a little bit, make it to 800, 900 Naira. Then you use the extra savings that you normally use to defend the currency to pay off some debts. Or, better still, you discourage the use of the dollar. There are so many ways the president can discourage the use of the dollar. Like banning the use of the dollar inside your country. It's one of them. Discourage the Bureau de change, which they did. Discourage the Bureau de change to be speculating on the currency. They did that later on. It took a while, I think more than 6 months before they started implementing these things. And even then, the bleed is still going on. The bleed is still going on. The Naira value is still, well, it's the worst position in Naira I've seen in Naira to the dollar was around 1 Naira to 650. That's a $1 to 1,650 Naira. I think that's the worst I've ever seen. And let me see where it is now, just to confirm. Let me see where the Naira is right now. Based on, and these people, they tend to, give you a relatively lower number for it. So this one is in pounds, and let's do it in dollars. US dollars. I don't know how to do dollars here. This one is in pounds, so you can't always tell. Oh, they don't even do US dollars here. All these here people. Seriously. US dollars is so popular. What's wrong with you? In United States of America, it's not here. So I will just, what I'm going to do is, let me flip it around again. I don't know what I've done. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because this one is in pounds, let me see if I can change it here. Dollar to Naira. Let's see what it says. Yeah, 1,549 Naira, 0.1 kobo. So that is quite, it's an appreciation. So it's about 100 naira above this one. So that's the equivalent to about 5% difference from where it used to be, from, or maybe even less than 5% difference to where it was before. So the worst value I've seen is not very far off from where it is right now. All the way from 600 naira or so. Let me even check whether I can see the historical data here. I don't know why they have it. Let me see naira value over the years. Naira to dollar to naira over a decade. Let's see. Dollar value chart. So let's see what it says. Oh, they are doing it 1 year at a time. Oh my, look at that. Look at where the value was. The value was 2013. Let me try to zoom in so people can see what we are dealing with here. Accept. 2013. Oh, go away. Around 900 naira. I think he has already taken over at late 2013, isn't it? It's around 900 naira. So I wish I can go further back. Let's see. 2 years back. Good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. Let's go 5 years just to make it more clear for people to see what has happened here to Nigeria. Now look at where it started from. From 2019. Oh my God. And we think Buhari was evil. Look at the naira to the dollar here. 2019 is 389 naira to a dollar. Even went down for some period, 280. It went down for a bit, then it started going up 400, and it started going up. You see, this is why people didn't like Buhari. It started going up. It started going up to around massive, 460 naira to a dollar. That was the price that the Nigerian government was defending with about 20 billion, which is the highest estimate I've seen. The Nigerian government was defending, but not to be more precise, based on that estimate, is around 18 billion. Nigerian government was spending 18 billion defending the naira when the value of the naira was 461 naira to a dollar. 461 naira to a dollar. Oh my God. I can't even imagine how that was like. And now we are dealing with this. It was even as high as 1,690. Wow. Now it's 1,400 and listen. So if the government was spending $20 billion doing it here, and if that $20 billion demand goes away, why will the currency value not return back here? This is what gives me sleepless nights. I need an economist to explain this to me. Why should the currency not come back somewhere around here? Or at least come back here. Come back to around 700, 800. Because if the currency is around 700, 800 naira, petrol price will come down to around somewhere around 500, 400 in Nigeria. So we need it to come down a little bit more. My issue with this government is that foreign exchange. And I don't think anything else they've done was that terrible. I guess the thing that they've not done is another terrible thing, which is security, that they were supposed to, they promised that they were going to do something about it, they didn't do. But if you look at it on balance, I'm not going to cry for removal of subsidies, even if subsidies is not always a bad thing. Subsidies, you know how the president is going around begging people to come to our country? If that subsidy remained in place and he went on to secure the country and he didn't flow the currency the way he did, people would troop into Nigeria. Because one, cost of living will be cheap. Cost of labor will be cheap in Nigeria. incomes will go further. Nation is secure. So because of all those things are cheap, when these industries come in, they can now flourish. Yes, the challenge they're going to have, these industries will have, especially if it's a technological industry, because they buy the equipment in dollars, the savings they will have to make up for that purchase in dollars is based on the fact that housing will be cheaper in Nigeria, fuel costs will be cheaper in Nigeria, labor costs will be cheaper in Nigeria, and what else? Yeah, those are just about the main areas. And tax is probably less in Nigeria compared to many other countries. So, and if that is the case, you can see how having subsidies in place will help Nigeria, because it makes it a very competitive economy to operate in. This is why America went to China in the first place, because cost of labor was very cheap. Cost of housing, all those things were very cheap, because it was a socialist state, for crying out loud. Oh, no, a communist state, I mean. So things were practically kind of, for want of a better word, worthless. Not worthless in the terms that it's not worth anything, but it costs almost nothing to buy those things. And Americans were able to go there and do a lot of business. So subsidies is not always a bad thing. What turned it into a bad thing was the fact that the Nigerian government enabled their people to start gouging the country. And the subsidies were put in place at a time when Nigeria was importing petrol too. That wasn't good, because you're already spending premium importing the product, and then you're still subsidizing on top of it. In other words, you're spending a whole heap of money that you don't have to spend just to, as a matter of fact, you're just basically giving the money to foreigners. Because when your people consume it, then they will still have to go and buy from them again, and they still spend that money. So you're giving all that money to foreigners, really. It's not helping your economy as much as it should. But now that Dangote is there, the need for that subsidies, even if it's in place, is not going to damage the economy that much anymore, because you're not using the money to buy petrol as much. But that's my take anyway, and I've always had that two major issues with this government. I have other petty ones, not doing that much to unite the country, not communicating properly with the people, leaving the country, kind of drifting, in the wilderness, not really changing the dynamics of the country. So those are petty ones. But the two grievous ones are this foreign exchange and security. And you can even link them together for why he chose this approach to them. Because he knows if you can do this damage to this country in these two areas, the country is going nowhere. We are going nowhere. And they asked him about manufacturing. He was like, yeah, I'm all for manufacturing. But you're all for manufacturing, but why are we not seeing it? Why are we still seeing a chart that looks like this? Why are we still seeing a chart that looks like this? That Nigeria's, where is that from Nigerian earnings from export? Look at, okay, this is, to be fair, this is 2022. So let's see 2024 export of goods statistics. Let's see what they say there. So not much has changed. It looks like it has even come down. Jeez, man. It has even come down. Man, is there any good news in this town anymore? Export has even come down for 2023. My God. Let's hope it went up in this year. In dollars, it has come down. Obviously, the president will tell you that in naira, it has gone up. Why would you say that to anybody? In other words, you're telling people that they are stupid. Because in naira, obviously, it's going to go up because the naira value has depreciated. Before, if you bring 10 naira to Nigeria, you get 400 and something, 40 something, 4 point something thousand, isn't it? Before, like 2022. You go to Nigeria, you bring $10, you get 4,000 something, this in naira. Today, you bring that dollar in, $10, no, you get 400. What am I saying here? Yeah, it's 4,000 something. So now if you bring $10 in, how much is it worth now? It's worth 10,000 something naira. 10,000. No, 15,000. Yeah, it's what. Oh my God. You know what? I was thinking that it's not that high, but it's actually that high. $10 is around 15,000 naira now. Wow. This is how far we are falling so fast. And it says it's only 18 months. It's just 18 months. You're able to pull all this off in 18 months. Why does he not look at this chart? This chart is where we get our products from, because you have not managed to build an exporting economy. This is the chart we get most of our resources from. Also, he says something that I found a little bit positive, if it is true, and if the impact is going to be there. I think he said something about 2,000 agricultural trucks are coming into the country. I think he meant tractors. I think tractors is the term he used. So he said 2,000 tractors are coming into the country. 2,000 sounds like a lot, but I don't know whether it's a lot in reality. Because by the time you give it to this village, give that village, you'll run out of trucks. But if that is the case, that is a good thing. If they can utilize it very well and they use it to farm the land and grow crops. And yeah, people will be better off in Nigeria if that happens. Mechanized farming, I don't mind to do mechanized farming. They give me the resources to do it. The only thing I dread about farming is diseases. All these plant diseases that just come and wipe out all your harvest. It's like, Jesus Christ. They have to have insurance in Nigerian market too. That's another thing. You have to have insurance. You have to have, I think, commodity market, they call it, where the farmers can always sell their products. The moment the products are ready, they take it and pay them, and the farmers carry on with the farming, and the people come and take the products and sell them. I don't know how that market works, but that formula should be, I think they're already doing it in Nigeria somehow, but I don't know why the benefit is not fully out there. Say whatever you like about Buhari though. Buhari was a failure in security. Buhari was a failure in foreign exchange speculation. He didn't deal with it. He allowed people to do a lot of round tripping. However, in the area he succeeded was trying to industrialize Nigeria in some key areas, like Dangote refinery. He supported Dangote refinery head on, and we are probably going to see the benefits of this in time. Which other one did he do? The growing of Nigerian rice. I actually saw Nigerian rice in the market. They sell it too. They sell Nigerian rice. So that too is a good thing that Buhari did. Which other thing did he do? Institute the removal of the subsidies. Fine. I'm not going to complain. He could have, I could decide that wasn't good thing, but in my mind, it's neither here or there. He needed to go. Nigeria needed the extra wiggle room in terms of ability to spend money. So maybe he just needed to go at that time. That is a good thing from that point of view. So that's Buhari's doing. And what else did Buhari do? He fixed a lot of train lines. He fixed a lot of train lines in Nigeria. I will give him credit for that. But the insecurity failure is the biggest one, though. It's the biggest thing that is affecting Nigeria the most. So he failed woefully on that. Which other thing did he do better than this government on? Foreign exchange definitely did better in foreign exchange than this government. Definitely better. Significantly better. I'm trying to think of one other area where it is something. Okay. Apart from the fact that we are all hearing that Emefiele has stolen half of half of Nigeria. Apart from that, one thing Emefiele did that people are not giving me enough credit for is transforming Nigeria to an almost cashless society. That one is quite a significant achievement. Say whatever you like about it. It's like, in the early 2000s or so, when Obasanjo brought in the telecommunication companies like mobile phones and Glo and all of them. I think the change that Emefiele did in terms of transforming Nigeria to a cashless economy, even if some people argue that the change started before him, some other person started the very root of the change. It's like some people always say, it wasn't Buhari that started the Dangote refinery. Yeah, but it was him that was in office when he started building it. When they started building this refinery that you have now, he was the one that was in office. When they started building it, and until they finished it, he was the one that was in office. The same thing for Emefiele. Emefiele was in office when the currency, Nigeria became almost a cashless society. For me, when I went to Nigeria this last time, though I was only in Abuja, what I noticed was that the biggest change I noticed in Nigeria was that cashless business. Like the roads were not that different, the people were not so. Abuja was a little bit warmer, maybe it's the season I went, I don't know. But what was a marked difference? The most marked difference I saw on the ground was the fact that every market woman has a card payment machine. Many shops have the account number on the shop. If you want to pay, you don't have to pay cash. You just pay directly into the account. That is crazy. That is crazy transformation. And Nigeria has so many payment systems, from OPay, APay, WAPay, all kinds of payment systems. The ecosystem is littered. I don't even know how they do that. I can't imagine. That ecosystem is buzzing. It's really buzzing, and I think the core of it is in Lagos somewhere. Everybody is creating a money payment platform. Everybody. I can't even count how many different names are there. Jesus Christ. Which one is Money Point? Money Point is a very popular one. Everybody wants to make payment with Money Point, OPay, Zenith, GT Bank, all kinds of different places. You go to their shop, ask for the account number, or they will stick out there their card payment machine. You slide it, and you're paid, made your payment. When you are in any doubt, there's always PMS or POS. I'll say PMS, POS. POS people will give you cash if you really need cash for your card or whatever else you want to take. But because when I went to Nigeria this year versus when I went the last time I went was 2 years ago, was 2 years before that. Okay, I think it was 2020 actually that I went. So that was 4 years actually. So I went there late 2020, 3.5 years. When I went, everywhere I went, I had to, if I need money, I have to go to the cash machine. This is in Abuja. I cannot speak for other parts of Nigeria. Everywhere I went, I needed a cash machine in Abuja. That's 4 years ago. Then I went this year. I didn't use cash machine once. Let that sink in. I did not use cash machine once in this last trip. And I was in Nigeria for about a month. Not once did I use cash machine. It didn't even come up. So a country being transformed that rapidly within a 4-year period. I'm not even sure mobile phones spread that fast in 4 years. And in a country like Nigeria, and we think things cannot change in Nigeria sometimes. Things can change. If Nigerians want to make something happen, they can make it happen. Because I saw it happen. I've seen it happen repeatedly in Nigeria. Even that growing our own rice, it wasn't done properly until Buhari decided to do it. Within a couple of years, Nigerian rice were in shops. Today they are still there. And they have different brands. Now they have brands. Unbelievable. The problem is that we are not growing enough yet to sustain the nation, not to mention exporting overseas. That's where we need to get to. But that said, I think I've just done a little bit of my analysis on this. I can't believe it's 2 hours already. I need to round up. I just thought I should respond to what the president said. It's not every day he gives people a chance to ask him questions. And I feel like the journalists were pulling their punches. They are worried that if you ask too much of a tough question, Tinubu will give you the Osibanjo treatment or whatever treatment he gives to his enemies that is not often pleasant. So they don't want to trouble him too much. But that is Nigeria. What are you going to do? Until we have a president that really engages people repeatedly, this is what we get. You know, whenever he likes, he shows up once a year or 2 times. I think this is practically the first time he's practically spoken to Nigerian journalists like this. I don't even know whether he's ever done it. 18 months in office, I can't remember him doing anything like this. So there you go. Let me read what Nwachukwu is saying. I watched the interview and I will give Tinubu credit or pass in the interview. I like that he was answering questions directly. He gave us answers to questions like this, his views on issues like price control, subsidies, though I'm against those, but I like he answered the questions head on without running around. And most importantly, he did not veer off. I was really happy. I was tired of hearing Buhari veering off. This is a lot different from what we used to hear for 8 years. I don't know whether him answering the question, does it not matter? Oh my God, is this where we are now? The president is able to answer a question. So whatever he says is good enough. That's his belief. How about what the effect is? So I get the fact that you're saying he answered the question. Yeah, he answered the question like when he said the principle of price control. So, and I'm not even sure they should be asking that. That is not even a relevant question because it's neither here or there. The question they should be asking is at the core of the reason why the Nigerian economy is experiencing inflation, why the Nigerian state is experiencing serious insecurity. Those are the core areas they should have gone after because that is what everybody's complaining about. But they keep asking trivial questions, surface questions. Because the reason why the Nigerians are struggling is because he went and removed fuel subsidies, then floated the currency. If he hadn't floated the currency, the fuel subsidies wouldn't be this bad. If he had done his best to support Dangote so that Dangote would be supplying Nigeria all the petroleum product that we needed, the demand would have crashed and the price of the naira would have appreciated. But no, nobody did that. I don't care whether he answers the question because that doesn't help the Nigerian people. What did he answer the question? He answered the question that what did he say? Answer the question on. I like that he answered the question that he gave us answer regarding price control. Okay, what price control did subsidy removal? Subsidy removal, everybody supported it. The removal of subsidy. That's not even that controversial. You can argue that maybe he should have kept it, it's not necessary, but the country was strapped for cash. You can say if your country is strapped for cash, you could decide to remove fuel subsidy temporarily if you want to. It doesn't have to be permanent. You can say, okay, I will remove it for the next 2, 3, 4 years. After that period, we are going to reintroduce it gradually again because the country is out of the woods. And the reason why we needed it before is no longer there because now we have petroleum products all over the place. Which technically another president could decide to do. The only area people have issues with that petroleum product is because it's going to the next door neighbors. So from that point of view, one can argue that maybe it's a good idea to keep it without subsidies. Because if it keeps going to the next door neighbors, you will need another security force again to stop them from doing that. Which you could do. Technically, Dangote did say that you could solve that problem by tracking the vehicles. So you could do that, stop the vehicles from being smuggled. Sometimes if we have a corruption problem, we go and slash everything that benefits the people, or may even benefit the economy more, because if cost of doing business in Nigeria becomes cheaper, can you imagine Nigeria had good roads, good train lines, good links, and the cost of living was as it was just 3 years ago? You have security on top of that. Nigeria will be the best place to do business. Well, none of those things are true. So what are we going to do? This is the first interview chat since he was, this is the first time I've seen him too. I've not seen him come live before to answer any questions. And they were just kind of babying him a little bit. There was only one lady that said, are you grading yourself? You know, it was just like, he was getting to the point whereby he was praising himself. It's like, is this where we are now? We just self-aggrandize. I don't blame him. Why would he not aggrandize himself when nobody's questioning him on the core issues of why we are where we are? Till today, I'm not even sure how many of these journalists have picked up on the idea that foreign currency floating is the core of our problem today. I don't know how many of them have even picked up on it. And if you couple it with the insecurity, and couple it with the fact that they are not enabling Dangote refinery to fully be supplying petroleum to Nigeria, why do you care about monopoly? Oh my God. Why do you care about monopoly when you barely have anything? You want to have petroleum first before you start worrying about monopoly. Do you think Nigerian people care about monopoly? As long as the petrol price is cheaper. Amazon is a monopoly. Google is a monopoly. Facebook is a monopoly. They are not there sharing their turf with anybody. So I don't understand this idea like, oh, yeah, let everybody do. When he says that, know that he's using that excuse to keep importing petroleum products. And that is things that Nigerians don't pay attention to. I'm sure, Nwachukwu, you were very happy when he said, everybody, there's no monopoly, everybody should do business fine in Nigeria. The only reason why he would say that is because of Dangote refinery. Why do you think he brought out the monopoly issue? Because of Dangote refinery. So you can see, let me see who is there. Wagwan. Welcome. Let me see what you wrote. Yes, floating was a mistake. Go and tell him that now. He's not going to believe that. As a matter of fact, I don't care what he believes. It is for the people to see him try to answer that question. If I had asked him that, I would have told him the reason why he floated the currency was because there was round tripping and defending of the naira, isn't it? How much did it cost us versus what the floating it? How much has the floating cost us? I would have just loved to hear him answer that. Whether he even know the numbers. If you need the numbers and he comes out with the truth, damaging. If you need the numbers, he doesn't come out with the truth, damaging. It's going to reveal the truth of the situation. But yet, none of the journalists bother to ask him that question. And even if they can see with their own eyes the damage that is happening in the country. Because why have they managed to convince some of these journalists that defending the currency is like Satan? Satan that is beyond anything, that is destroying nations, consuming nations. When they were defending the currency, Nigerians were not facing this type of hardship. So that should tell you something. When they were defending the currency, yes, the finances of the country doesn't look very well. But then, we didn't have Dangote refinery then too. So both sides have given way now. Dangote refinery has come on stream. Defending the currency is no longer required, but the currency still remains 1,500 naira. Why? I will ask him that. why did you say your best position was to expect it to come down to 1,500? I really need to understand all these weird economics that talk this nonsense. Sometimes I feel like, just taking their head off with a punch. Because it drives me crazy when they come out and just try to play funny games. If you explain it clearly to me, if there is an economic dynamics that means that currency appreciation has a lot of trouble occurring, while depreciation is easier, maybe there is some mechanism that is causing it, but I can't see it. I can tell you right now, I can't see that mechanism. I've been in countries that are far more advanced than Nigeria. I've never seen kind of depreciation before. The UK currency lost about 30% of its value due to the UK leaving the EU overnight, and the Prime Minister stepped down from office. Look at the value of the naira in early. When was this election? Was it 2022 or 2023? Yeah, 2022 sometime. Look at the value of the naira then. 400 and something. Now it's 1,500. That's this number times 3. As a matter of fact, more than times 3. That's where we are now. So how am I supposed to sit here and say, well done, your Highness. You've done so very well for the people, and the people will be proud of you forever. I've said it before. This president still, even till now, that's how crazy it is. Even still now, he may still end up one of the greatest presidents of Nigeria. Not by his own direct doing, though he's adding to it. This making the local authorities, local government autonomous is a very good thing if it takes root. He's not the one that did the energy production in states now. I think it's the previous government that did it, so that's not him. Which other one did he do himself even? If he gets the tax bill passed, I will say on balance that's a positive thing from him to do. The local government autonomy is a good thing. I'm worried that the state governments, the state governors are going to thwart it. I hope he put enough provisions there to prevent that from happening, because some of these are that they will tell you one thing, but what happens on the ground is something else. So I hope he put provisions to ensure local government autonomy is local government autonomy. He gave the example of Lagos. And this is another thing that he does about Lagos that I find a little bit troubling too. Like, he makes it look like Lagos was not a flourishing city before he came to Lagos. It's like weird though. Why do people keep doing this? Lagos was a very functional city, maybe even more functional. I was in Lagos, I think 2019 or 17 or so. Maybe now it has improved more. But when I went to Ikeja, I can tell you categorically I didn't see improvement in Ikeja. I went to Allen Avenue because I was there when they buried Abiola early 2000s. So from early 2000s, no, late 2000 and late 1990s, I mean, say late 1990s. So I was in Allen Avenue when they buried this in Abiola. I know that area. I went almost the year 2020 and I didn't see that much change on the ground in Abuja, in Ikeja. Not that much change. CMS that I went to, did I see much change? I don't know. I don't think I saw that much that changed in CMS. Maybe some things changed, but I didn't notice. I guess when I was in CMS, it was a little bit, that was in Lagos Island. It was a bit, dark. So maybe I saw a bit of change, but I can't tell. But I know in Ikeja, there was not barely much change. There was ShopRite there in some areas, but nah. All the main things were still not looking well. The main road. I remember the Ikeja Junction that I used to like for where they used to play fella. They removed it and put a flyover there, and I wasn't too impressed with what I saw in Lagos. That is almost after 20 years, and yet They talk as if he just reinvented Lagos. Maybe the Lagos they are talking about is the one we are seeing now that has blue rail and all the things that are happening. I saw some improvement on the road, like Oshodi. Yes, I saw some improvement in Oshodi in Lagos. I saw some improvement in all those car park areas. And I'm not sure that one is a big improvement actually. That one didn't improve that much. But I saw improvement definitely in Oshodi. Big one in Oshodi actually. It wasn't a small improvement in Oshodi. Yeah, there were some improvement in Lagos. The roads, the way it was Ambode that was in office at that time actually. And I was in when I think it was 2016, isn't it? Ambode was in office and he was just about to lose office, and I heard that it was Tinubu that caused him to lose that office. That's his re-election. So, and that was the first time I heard about Tinubu. Like, I was like, why would he remove such a command from office? The reason why I asked that question, because in Lagos, people thought Ambode was very popular. They said he was the one, this road, I forgot what did they call it, Latsu or something like that. They said he was the one that is doing all these things on the road. People like him. I don't know, maybe it's just politics. People are just talking crap on the road. I don't know. But that's what I got. The idea was that he was doing a good job. Guess what happened within that many weeks? I was there in Lagos during that time when they were selecting. Anybody that knows when Ambode was deselected, that was when I was in Lagos. And I was like, Tinubu did that? Was this that Tinubu that was in London when Abacha was running riot in Nigeria, fighting for democracy? Now he's unseating a governor to put a nobody. Then it was Shomolu to anoint Shomolu to represent the party. But there you go. That is the history. And I don't appreciate him selling Lagos as if he reinvented Lagos. I don't think he reinvented Lagos. Lagos was always a massive city. He was like, Lagos is big now. Yeah, Lagos has been big. Lagos has been big. Shocker. People have always been many in Lagos. Lagos is full of people. I remember when I used to go to Lagos in the late 90s. You go to Lagos Island, they are carrying money in wheelbarrows. Like money, they are just loading it as if they are loading Gary. And it's acting as if this is the first time we've seen Lagos. Lagos was heaving with life. So many areas in Lagos were just heaving. Even in the 90s, there was already computer college in the Ikeja, gaming, internet cafes, all kinds of. You can see the innovation was already happening. Innovation was already happening in Lagos then. Suddenly, he has reinvented Lagos. I don't know why people like to rewrite history. Like we didn't leave it. I really don't appreciate it because that's just deceiving people. I don't know, man. If Lagos doesn't get any better organized than it was before, God help us. With all the money that people are making in this thing, I like the fact that he instituted the ability to collect tax in Lagos. That's quite an important thing to do. I at least organize it more so that the money can end up in the hands of the government, and the government is able to spend it on things in Lagos, I guess. But some part of it goes to him. I think I hear it's about 10% or so goes to his company. So there you go. Nigerians will never do anything without taking their own slice out of the people. And but that said, that's what happens when you have new democracies, a new type of government coming. You help people take advantage of the people and capitalize on it to make a lot of money for themselves. To be fair, that trend hasn't ended till date, and people are still capitalizing on it to make money out of Nigeria. But it's a bit of a shame. This graph you see here, if you want to see what has happened to the Nigerian currency, this is it here. Wow. And some people thought Buhari was terrible. This is scary. This is Buhari. Oh. This is the currency of Nigeria versus the dollar. This was Buhari's time in office. And our guy got into office, and this is where we are now. the intelligent, well-educated man, how did the Hausa man or Fulani man for Daura eclipse him? Still, even with all the criticism that I've levied against this president, which I'm not going to stop leveling against him because of until he acts on security. I've said it before. If this president decides to increase the security force to 2 million, if he does that, I will forgive anything else he does. Everything else I will forgive. I don't care. He can flow the currency, then I don't care. Because I know even if he flows the currency, then he cannot do damage. Because the country will be saving in excess of about $50 billion because of it. The country will be more stable. In other words, it's going to allow people to manufacture and do all those things. And because you have high level of security in the system will become more a kind of militarized. When the system become a kind of militarized and it's secure, what you tend to get is a stronger rule of law. The system will start becoming self-healing. Our people need to study some of all these things a bit more, and so that we start understanding how societies come together. So that's why I say I'm going to forgive him if he does anything about security, something serious about it. You know, these police people arguing about, oh, it's CPS that should recruit people. Inspector General is arguing, oh, no, we should recruit people. They have been arguing about this since Buhari's time in office. It's unbelievable. The police people have been arguing among themselves who is supposed to recruit citizens. I don't even know why we are not pulling our hair out. Nigerians are pulling their hair out for Dele Farotimi. But we are not pulling our hair out when the Nigerian police is supposed to be recruiting. I don't how much, I think it's 10,000 a year they were supposed to recruit. Do you know that under Buhari time in office, they were supposed to recruit at least 10,000 a year? So in other words, for 8 years, they will have at least 80,000 people would have been recruited into the police. But throughout that time, 8 years, they recruited only 10,000. And even that 10,000 that they recruited, they are arguing about it. Many of the 10,000 people didn't get their salary. And that argument has spilled over into this government too. It's like these people are paralyzing a nation from being secure. I don't know about you. If I have 80,000 more police officers in somewhere in the north there, I'm sure bandits will think twice a little bit. If the military was recruiting enough people into the military, sometimes you don't need that many guns. Here in the UK, you know what they say Bobby on the beat? They call it Bobby on the beat. In other words, just a policeman with a uniform. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have anything. He just walks around. That helps to reduce crime. Just the policeman walking around helps to reduce crime. Forming relationship with the neighbor, the community. Why are we not doing that? And President Tinubu knows. He was also in London when he was running away from Abacha. I remember, I saw him on newspaper. Those days when we used to read Tell magazine. I saw Tinubu on Tell magazine as one of the people opposing Abacha government in London. So they know. He knows about Bobby on the beach. As a matter of fact, Tinubu's accent is less American than British. He has a more British accent. He knows about Bobby on the beach, but yet they won't do that for their own people. You won't recruit enough people to be on the road to keep our people safe. He now says that everybody can drive safely around Nigeria. Where did he get that one from, that everybody can drive safely around Nigeria? Did they not hear the amount that Nigerians have spent paying bandits and kidnappers? Does that look like people that are moving around freely? Even when Wike was in this is the Abuja, there was a spate of kidnapping that happened there. Now it has gone down, but there was a spate of kidnapping once in Abuja. Let me see. Say Nigerians didn't vote for Tinubu. He was selected. There has never been a credible election in Nigeria after or before Abiola. I think you may have a point there, and but does it matter though? I've often asked myself. I know it does matter to a level. If you have a crazy leader that will just want to come in office like a kamikaze agent and just decide to wreck the nation in the name of foreign puppets that are controlling him, you could have that situation occur. But most of these leaders, the control they have over them is not. Let me put it this way: it's not that. It's quite benign. It's not that strong. So, in other words, it does give way to an extent to the needs of the people. You know how Tinubu wanted to invade Niger when the Northerners said no. What did he do? He backed off. If he was so headlong and so powerful and these puppet matters had him in control, he will force them through. He will force it through and go and invade Niger anyway. But he was not able to do that. And if those Northerners say today that tax bill is going nowhere, he's not going to be able to do it. So their power is limited to an extent. The control their puppet masters have over them is limited. But the Nigerian people need to raise their game to surpass the influence that the foreigners have over their leaders. Let me see. Nigeria didn't vote for him. That's why I say whether it matters too much, whether the voting matters. But if you have a leader in office, even if you didn't vote for him, you can make him do what you want. Because anything else he tries to do, you make life hell for them. If they enlist 10K of police, army, navy, air force, how are they going to pay them with level of corruption on going? Yes, but they are paying the ones that are there now, isn't it? So the way they are able to pay the ones that are there now, you can still pay the new ones. And you know what? The new ones are offering value. We are not just employing them for the sake of it. Remember, they are keeping people alive. They are saving people money from paying to bandits. Do you know how many sleepless nights parents go through or family members go through when their person has been kidnapped? One person being kidnapped in a family paralyzes the entire family. The damage it does, the community, the trauma, the psychological damage, the community culture erosion, the trust. You can't count uncountable knock-on effects of all these things. If you take it away by increasing security, and remember also, you are giving people jobs. Good jobs, by the way. Yeah, Nigerian military or security or any police, they are not paid very well, but they do have some benefits that many other jobs in Nigeria don't have. Some of them get accommodation. Some of them definitely have pensions. They have this in healthcare covered under the government. You know, if anything happens to them in the line of duty, they get payout for it. So they are not totally without merit, and they pay tax too. Remember, whenever you give these people a job, they also pay tax. Government is also there to stimulate the economy. Many Nigerians that travel from overseas have taken it onto themselves to come and repeat the slogan of market-driven economy without looking at the countries that they are in, how that country is actually truly structured. The West, they will tell you market-driven economy. Our mistake is that we take it too literally. When they say market-driven economy, but they didn't make it totally market-driven economy. There is also a big injection of government intervention. Tesla will not be here today if Obama didn't save that company. Obama saved so many companies in America because they were going to go under due to the recession. And they are still there today. Government intervened, gave them billions of billions of dollars to keep them afloat. Then, if you look at the UK alone, the NHS in the UK, which is the healthcare system in the UK, employs over 2 million people. Let me repeat that. The country of about 66 million. This country is made up of about 66 million people. But the number of staff they have in the healthcare system is 2 million. Do you know what Nigeria has? Federal workers is around 750 million. No, sorry. 750,000. Who gives us million? The whole population is not even up to 750 million. 750,000 in the Nigerian healthcare. No, not healthcare. In the Nigerian federal workforce. Total Nigerian federal workforce, 750,000. All of them. For 200 and something million people. How is that a good thing? That's why I say, look at the country you are in, look at the structure of that country. Just because they are telling you free market, they didn't say you should not check the structure of your country when you are talking about it. It would have been good to argue for a free market economy if most of the Nigerian state was too big. If you're arguing for privatization, I don't mind necessarily about privatization. After all, we are not communist, we are not socialist nation. We are not running, that's not what we are running. Not that I care which one we run. I don't care whether it's communist, socialist, capitalist, whatever you want to call it. But what we are running is supposed to be a capitalist system. So I'm not going to sit here and argue against privatization. But what I would argue against is if you say the government should be cut further and then you expect the country to function, who is going to regulate the companies that are being created? Which governments are supposed to do? Who is going to create the stimulating jobs? Who is going to build this infrastructure? Those things, you need a sizable government to manage those things. You can't just have 10 people in an office, expect them to be able to manage massive projects. That's why the UK federal workforce is very large. The American one too is that large. Maybe, oh God, I can't even count how many Americans have. If you include the American military, forget it. You're not even able to count. This is the head of the capitalist nations of the world, the United Kingdom and the United States. And yet they have even far more socialist system than Nigeria does. Because we cut the state to a bare bone and we think that we are being smart. We are cutting the state every day, cutting everything smaller and smaller and smaller. Oh, let's cut it smaller. Let's remove the workforce. Let's sack them. They did ask Tinubu a question about reducing his cabinet. He said, no. How can I reduce the cabinet? They are so efficient. Hey, that one got me, man. That one got me. He was like, why should I remove reduce the size of the cabinet? That they are so efficient. But I did like something he said. I don't know what I like it or more like it's interesting. He said that. But I don't know what what the implication of that is. When he said, you don't give somebody a job that they cannot do. That is an interesting comment there. It's not meant to be dismissed outright. He might mean that the jobs he's giving out, he's certain that that person can do it. So you don't want to say, okay, because I want to have a smaller cabinet, I go and choose one person to shoulder a lot of burden that I know they cannot. I think that was his argument. And for better or for worse, I found that interesting. So the result of that argument will be pending on the results of what these ministers, what their performance is. I don't know whether I will say anything about their performance is so good so far. I don't know. We have not truly seen any dramatic shift in the Nigerian state so far. I don't know whether the inflation has gone down. from what I gather, is still there. Everything that has been happening 6 months ago is still happening now. So I don't know what has improved. But I just thought that was an interesting statement, because I would have normally dismissed it outright. That why would you not reduce the size of your cabinet, given the fact that it's one of the, I think, the largest in the Nigerian, maybe in the Nigerian history. That's a good defense for such an argument, if you ask me. At least it buys him time. If you are certain that they can deliver. But if they cannot deliver, it will go down as somebody that has a bloated cabinet and a bloated policy that just damaged the Nigerian economy. Till today, I'm not even sure. The only thing he has accomplished that I would say may stand the test of time as something positive is that local government autonomy. Buhari tried, not for lack of trying, they beat him down to it. They didn't let him. Sharia is coming, Kwara State soon. You know what? Kwara State is a kind of bellwether state. I don't know what I would call it, a bellwether state, actually. I think it's more like a state where the future of Nigeria is playing out. Or let's put it this way, the debates that is going to be taking place within the Nigerian space regarding religion is playing out in Kwara State. I've said this before. The South, they may complain all they want about, oh, Sharia is coming to the South. And, yeah, so what are you going to do? See, as long as they are not doing it by force, they have a right. They have a right. If Kwara becomes mostly people that descend from Muslim parents, and they are Muslim too, and they want to make the state Muslim, so be it. So be it. Consequences, eh? There are consequences. I've told people from the South, if you want to copy the West, you want to reduce your birth rate, and the North don't care about that. They keep having children more than you. In a democracy, don't be surprised that they outnumber you. Don't be surprised that they outnumber you. It's not their fault. They didn't say you should not make children. You should not grow your population. They are going to grow in population, and they are going to transform the nation in their image. Consequences. What we do today always has consequences. We can pretend as if it's not going to happen. We can act as if those consequences is just a word being said. It means nothing. But it's going to be real on the ground, for real. And if Kwara goes Muslim, and I think Kwara is a lost cause, actually. Kwara, I think Muslims, Christians should just surrender. I surrender. I'll correct, I'm not going to fight anymore. They should just surrender. They've lost Kwara. They've lost Kwara already. Because, from where I see it, I don't even know why people bother with all these things. Because if you think about it, you are busy fighting Muslims for Christianity. At least if you are fighting Muslims for your forefathers and religion, I can understand. Why would you fight Muslims to defend Christianity? For the life of me, I don't understand it. No. I'm not drunk. I just enjoy talking, and everybody just being outside, not having to get in. You know what? I might shift over to this thing to Niger. So if you guys want to carry on watching, let me see. Let me get the link to join on the other channel. Because that place needs the views. To be fair, I need the views on the True Niger channel. So that is the channel. There. I'm going to send a link for you to subscribe, and also the video of the link to True Niger. I will send that one too. So that's the link to subscribe to True Niger. And thanks to the viewers. Yesterday, Iroko Post TV got the 1,000 subscriber. So that channel is ready to take over from this channel in the new year. So you are going to be seeing Dr. Damage's live streams. If you want to join after December 31st, you have to go to Iroko Post TV. There is no space for it on Dr. Damage's anymore. Iroko Post TV is where it's going to be, where all the conversation is going to be. And the second place you want to check out is True Niger. That's where you're going to find me. That's where you're going to find the analysis, the crux of analysis. None of these fluffy analysis you tend to hear from people. They give you surface stuff, not going to the crux of the matter. So, let me see. God, you know what? The number of subscribers that I have, let me see how much I have. You know what? Let the world see my shame. You know, it's all good. I don't know whether it's a shame. It is what it is. Let's see. Look at the number of subscribers that I have. I have, oh my God, that's a lot. Look at that. I have a lot of subscribers. 808. 508, man. What's 808? I don't have 808. I have 508 subscribers. And the number of viewers on the channel at the moment is practically zero, really. I don't even know how somebody can do that. Zero. You people are wicked, though. Eh? Nobody's going to tune out to watch. You you guys should go to Tune Nigeria to go and watch, because we need the I need the views so that the company the channel can grow. So let me see. Why is it showing double like this? What have I gone and done? Okay, because I'm showing myself. That's interesting view, actually, when you think about it. So I'm heading there. Yeah, nice one. Thank you, Queen T8. Thank you, nice one. Yeah, I head there to go and watch it from there. Yeah, let me type from here. Wow, look at that. This view, I've never seen this on view before. It's really strange. Greetings all. Yeah, welcome to So yeah, this my kind of I think I'm a bit different from the point of view of the way I analyze things, because my focus is not on politics. My focus is not on religion. My focus is anything that betters our lives, really. Because I don't know, man, about you. Me, I want to go to Nigeria and feel free. Because there's only as much as the freedom you get in Igbo land. And the kind of stuff you do here, yeah, it seems free, but it's just not complete. And there's always this thing at the back of your mind where you always have to be doing translation. It's not the same as when you are in your own land. It's different. So that's what we are dealing with. Awebo, you want to come in? Okay, I didn't want to have a chat. I was beginning to like to hear my own voice. When people say I like to hear my voice, I'm beginning to get used to it. Now you want to come and join me and take all this joy away from me. It's okay. You can come in and let's have the conversation and discuss the farming, this thing. I don't know, man. Maybe you can tell me a thing or two about farming. I've always been a kind of trying to be a farmer, but I'm trying to be a farmer from afar. I'm so scared of farming because of potential diseases, and I don't want my livestock to go and die for nothing or crops to go for waste. because you always hear these things about farmers all the time. So it's quite a brave profession to get into. All right, let's get back to this. Yeah, thank you for joining me on Weibo. I don't know, did you see the interview with the president? Let's see, I can't hear you.
No, I did not. I did not.
I played it now in full, and you
Oh,
still
I joined. I joined you after you must have played the video.
yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, this is the chart of the foreign exchange under Buhari now. As you can see, 400, I can't believe it was 400 something naira just 2022. Today, this is where we are.
You see, to Niger. The reality is this: you have government approved rate, exchange rate, and you have the black market rate. The black market rate, if you check it now, is about 1,600 and something. Check
Yeah,
it, you will
quite
see
likely. Let me check it out. Yeah, dollar.
it's over 1,500 naira.
Yeah, I won't be surprised because I remember I seen that. Okay, okay, Google is wicked, man. Google if you use the official number, then immediately underneath it, the black market number. Look at that, it says the black market number. You just have to check it there and see. Yeah, you are right. That's the number I normally see. This is the number I normally see. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Just look at that. I thought this was where they were
You
saying that they
see
were
that,
to stop.
to Niger, that is the problem of Nigeria. Nigeria has never had any good leader. The
So,
past leader will always be better than the present leader. Nigeria has everything it takes a country to make a country big and enviable to the rest of the world. But
yeah.
we have Nigerians are bedeviled by
Mm,
bad and horrible vampire. I call them political vampires. To Nigeria, did you see what happened when people went to Anambra State or Keja to collect food stamps? Did you see what happened to Ibadan when they went for food stamps? Did you see what happened in Abuja when they went for food stamps? Do Nigerians supposed to be placed in this kind of situation? A country that is so vast in agriculture that has been neglected, concentrated on only oil and gas. How can you develop a country in that manner? Look,
imagine.
if actually the votes of Nigerians count, I have been back and forth with you on this. I
Mm,
told you that Nigerian votes don't count. Look at what happened in Ghana. I told you that I was going to invite you to come and witness what happens, how we conduct our elections in Ghana. Our elections in Ghana. Do you know the reason why Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo lost the election? Is because the Ghanaian people have the power of their thumb. They
mm,
have the powers of their thumb. If you view what happened, what transpired during the election in Ghana, presidential election, the
mm,
incumbent lost with over 1.7 million votes, unheard of in the history of Ghana. And in
mm,
parliament, they lost over 90 something. That's the ruling party. They lost 90 something. Ghanaians were fed up. And they have tried the man that is there now, the president elect, John Dramani Mahama, before. And that man did well compared to what this guy is doing to us right now. And that is the reason why Ghanaians said, no, you cannot we elected you. We will unelect you. And that is exactly what they did. And that cannot happen in Nigeria, you see.
wow. It's a
Thank you.
shame. It's really a shame. The Ghanaian president, but Kufuor was not running again, or was he running again for office?
No, he was not running, but his party was running, just
Oh
like
yeah.
Muhammadu Buhari. took 8 years. And now the same APC came in. The Nana Akufo-Addo MPP took 8 years. We gave him 4 years to right the wrongs because he promised that he is going to do better than the predecessor. But when he came, he did worse, more than 1,000 worse than what the predecessor did. We also gave him another 4 years to right the wrongs. He refused. Then Ghanaians said, we are going to show you at the polling stations, because in Ghana, elections are won at the polling station. No glitches, no nothing. And we showed him that we holds the power and we can hold you accountable. And that is why they chased him out and chased the party out of power. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's good to know. The policies of this guy, I'm a bit curious for what he's going to do when he comes into office, what he stands for. Some of Ghanaians, they tend to be very, very pro-West. Ghana, if you think Nigeria was bad, they too have gone completely crazy with their pro-West policies. So who knows where that is going to lead. But I must say, though, one other thing that has improved in Nigeria, I don't know how much, because some people are doubting it, is the Northern African state, northern countries in Nigeria, like Niger Republic, Chad, Mali, all those countries that are kicking the French out. I think it helps Nigeria. It might even be the reason why this, Boko Haram threat has gone down a little bit. Because these countries are hostile to all those forces. And they're hostile to foreign bases there. It offers Nigeria a little bit of buffer and protection.
Yeah, to Nigeria, let me tell you one thing. If you look at the drone manufacturing company, the largest in the world was an American drone manufacturing company in Niger Republic. If you look at the French, existence in Niger Republic, their mandate was to protect and terrorism. To stop terrorism in the Maghreb. Did they do that all the time they were there? They were busy protecting their interest. They were busy. It was worse. Now, these people said, the people woke up and say, no, we don't want to again. Leave our land. We are capable of managing our affairs, just like late Kwame Nkrumah told the British, the colonial imperialists. I don't call them masters. They are imperialists. I don't call them masters. They cannot be our master because we feed them.
Exactly.
We feed them. So you cannot be our master simply because you came in here, use your powers with the collaboration of the gullible African leaders, as at that time, the Warren chiefs and the rest of them, to defeat our people does not make you, our masters. Look at what is happening in these 3 African countries. I have a brother that came. He's an Islam man. I will not mention his name. He's an Islam man. He is in Philadelphia. He came to Ghana, moved from Ghana to Burkina Faso for feasibility study. He wants to establish a haulage company within Ghana. He was choosing Ghana and Burkina Faso. As I'm talking to you now, he is in Burkina Faso. What this guy, an American citizen, is telling me that shares border, my father's, region, Upper East region, is, shares border with Burkina Faso, cannot even tell you exactly what this Nigerian American from Philadelphia is telling me. The guy is still there as I'm talking to you. He said the only problem he has is the language barrier. That's the only thing. And he is there now learning how to speak and communicate in French language. He is there. This guy told me what this Captain Traore Ibrahim Traore is doing. The guy is doing amazingly well. And look, let me tell you see Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, to a large extent, Senegal are going to be the shining light of Africa. They are putting Nigeria at the backstage. I'm telling you the truth. Mali has paid all their foreign debts as I'm talking to you now. Mali, they have paid. You can check it. They have paid all their foreign debts. How do you want to tell me that the military cannot? If you have a military regime that has the interest of the people, the development of their country, knowing that whatever that happens to their country will affect every Dick and Harry in that country, and they will find way to provide for their people, provide the incentives for their people. What do you think? When you look at Malaysia and Singapore, were they not military head of states? Singapore today, Magawati, I don't know the country he came, whether Singapore or Malaysia. He was a military head of state. Look at Singapore today and look at what they are. They are now competing with the European nations, manufacture, industrialization, and so on and so forth. But why can't Nigeria, 230 million or over people with the kind of natural resources that God has given to you? Nigeria is supposed to be a representative, the eye of the African continent in the United Nations Security Council. But are they there? No, they cannot be there. They can never be there. Because judicial system, look at what they are doing to Faratomi. Look at what they're doing to Faratomi. They don't obey court orders. Even their own laws, they don't obey it. How do you think that the world will take you serious? Nigerians go outside Nigeria and perform exceedingly. But coming to Nigeria, they cannot perform. Nigeria is in comatose. You see, these are the problem. The other people, the smaller countries now are moving faster in a very faster pace than Nigeria in the Committee of Nations of the world. Nigeria during Goodluck Jonathan was 500 and something billion dollar, GDP. But today, how much are they? Less than 300 billion. Do you call that progress? Do you see that as a country that wants to develop and lead the African continent? It's pathetic, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me, Van. This is Maxwell. I don't know, that's the name they know about you. But Weibo is just as good as any. The Thank you all the people, because getting to 3 hours now, we always have to end 3 hours now. Thank you to all the people that went to Niger to go and check this in the live stream out. And next time, go down there. I need the views actually to build that up. And Dr. Damages, we are not going to be here very long. We're going to be going to Iroko Post TV too. So we need to build the channels up so that we have. Because I remember there was a time I was streaming and one of the live streams went down. I think today one of them even suffered some problems. So that's why it's always good to have backups just in case something goes down.
Niger, I've never seen you speak the way you are speaking today. I never seen you speak the way you are speaking today. You are condemning your own country, Nigeria.
Am I?
All along, you've been defending Nigeria and the atrocities that are going on. You try one way or the other to defend them. I am surprised listening to you. I've been listening to you for some time. You see, it comes. There comes a time in a human being where you have to, take a kind of introspection of what is going on in that country. To Niger, look at the dead bodies of people going to, collect free rice. There were pregnant women in it. Pregnant women in Okija. I watched the video when they took their lifeless bodies at Okija. I have not seen that of Ibadan. I have not seen that of Abuja. And I know that it will also be the same as Okija in Anambra State. These are some of the things our people are fighting and shouting, trying to see if they can correct it, but they cannot. The reason why you see agitations left, right, and center is, are people looking at what is happening and they are not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And these people are people that have lived in developed countries. They know what good life is. They know what, good governance is. And they are fighting. But surprisingly, some majority of Nigerians are not, buying into their ideas. They call them terrorists. They call them agitators. They call them names and so on and so forth. That is the reason why we are suffering the way we are suffering. If you have the power to change, the power of the thumb to change your politicians, these people, and punish them, hold them to account, they will never misbehave the way they are misbehaving, my brother. It is very, very bad. And to conclude, anytime you are going live, I do not know how I am going to give you my phone number and WhatsApp. You could at least send me your link. I will be one of the people that will come and join you in that platform and speak the nonsense I used to speak. Thank you.
How do you know Dr. Damages is live then? How do you normally know?
I was browsing. Damages sent me. I always get his notification because I subscribe to it, so
And then
I get the
subscribe to
notification.
Nigeria. That's the link there. So that's
Yes,
the link. Subscribe to
yes,
Nigeria.
I have. In fact, let me tell you, if you don't know, I was one of the first 20 people that subscribes to your channel when Dr. Damages announced it on his platform. Yes, I was one of the
Thank you for
20
that.
people that went there.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
You are the base
yeah.
members now. And
Mm.
besides, I've always been critical of the Nigerian government. When you hear me defending something, it's because I'm defending the people's interests. Often I don't care about the government as much, except when they do the right thing. Like Dangote now, I ain't hear that he does a lot of bad things. But when he's doing the right thing regarding what is going to benefit Nigeria in terms of the refinery, I'm going to defend it. As long as it helps me, it helps me too. Remember, I'm not government too. I'm just here trying to make my living. I want something that's going to
To Niger. You see, supposing you were in Nigeria and you speak the way you speak, you are pro Nigeria. They will fund you. I don't know.
oh, yeah, I'm
I
pro
might be
Nigeria.
mistaken.
I'm pro Nigeria. But I don't think our government. No, I don't think our president is pro Nigeria. That's the problem. They are not pro Nigeria. That's the problem. If they are pro Nigeria, they will not be doing what they are doing.
The people are willing to serve their country, but the elites, the political elites,
Exactly.
are
That's the
not
problem.
willing to serve Nigeria. Do you think do you know I think you are in London, my brother, just check Google how much Nigerian international students pay on yearly basis to study in the United Kingdom, and tell me if that money is not enough to build a standard primary school, secondary school, second cycle, and university in one of the states in Nigeria. Let's say, take it for about, let's say, 12 or 36 years. If you cannot build schools that can compete. Look, take for instance, Nigerian students are competing with the international students and they are winning with the dilapidated system of education that they have. Tell me what will happen if they are well equipped schools, properly managed schools in Nigeria, if they will not conquer the world.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, so now let me close out with this video of this lady wishing, that's a black beauty, not this lady, a black beauty wishing Nigerians happy holidays, and then play the national anthem, we'll close out. I really appreciate you for joining me this evening. And, it's very nice to have one person for joining me. Pastor Enemy of Progress is always there, complaining about me promoting my platform. I don't know what's wrong with Pastor.
Your brother. Your brother, Pastor. He is always he is going to attack you. He is always antagonistic with your own views. But in democracy, I will give it to him. He's my uncle. Sometimes I don't agree. We agree to disagree. I don't agree most of the things he said, but my brother, majority of what that elder statesman, say is real. He's a realist. I call him a realist. And what I want to say here now is this. I don't encourage anybody to give a happy Yuletide, seeing that Nigerians died going for food stamp. It is a time for mourning. It's a time for sorrow. Anybody that comes out and tell you or give you a happy Yuletide in advance, I will never support that person, because a lot of people, pregnant women, died because of poverty, trying to get something that they are going to eat. My brother, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I think she's going to wish us. But she said a lot of things that I think it may be useful for us to hear. Let me just play her out, and then thank you all for joining us. Let me call them out. Actually, Pansat is there, T Majek is there, Niger Man, I see you there. By Maxwell, you are on the panel and you're in the chat. Quinty, definitely you are my hero today. You went to the channel and you let everybody know you are going there. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Quinty, for going to the channel, and thank you. Like and share on all the channels, Dr. Damages, wherever you are, and to Niger, like and share there. And Daniel Tab, I see you there. Thank you for joining us, Daniel Tab. From Axel Eccentricast, I see you there too. I didn't even highlight his comment. I think he said something. The only way to address the issue of corruption in Nigeria is to transform the economic system from capitalism to socialism with Nigerian characteristics. Yeah, that's going to help, Socialism. That's you want Washington to start pissing in his pants. Nobody needs that drama. You mention socialism to Washington, they're going to start pissing and having a fit. So I don't care about socialism. I don't care about capitalism. I just care about how people doing well. That's all. Give me something. I will take your side. Dima 16. I think this is the first time I'm seeing this name, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate every support we get. And we really need a mobilization of support for Iroko Post TV so that it can keep growing. And Dr. Damages and to Niger. Let's keep pushing it forward. For today, I've just been streaming to Niger and to Dr. Damages. So it doesn't mean you cannot find your way to Iroko Post TV to subscribe. If you've not, you can still find your way to subscribe. Let me see if I am share the link. This is Iroko Post TV here. That's it. Let's get that out there so people can see it. And if I've not mentioned your name, my apologies. Sometimes I do miss people. Like I choose deliberately to miss Oga. I didn't see Oga there because that guy is so mean. It's like he barely has any good thing to say. He just wakes up, sees me, and just start attacking. No, let's see this. Femi Oluyinka. Oh, that's an interesting one. I've never asked Oluyinka. Something Olayinka. This one is Oluyinka. That's interesting. I wonder what that means. I don't know. Thank you all. And this is the link for Iroko Post TV. Remember to subscribe to Iroko Post TV. Thank you all for joining us, for getting it up to 1,000 subscribers yesterday. I have to congratulate my fellow Nigerians for doing that. And always remember, like, share, subscribe. There's a lot of good things that are coming on stream. Dr. Damages has a lot of plans for Iroko Post TV, and so do I have a lot of plans for 2Naija 2 and Iroko Post TV. And so there's a lot of projects that are on the way. And just watch this space. Always subscribe so that you can get notification when we are online. So thank you all for joining me. And let's close it out now. Thank you.
Time online, having conversations with your online life and go out there and enjoy those people. It's the holiday season wherever you are. Go outside, enjoy your people, enjoy your family, enjoy your communities and be excellent. We as African people, we're going to be tested over the next 10, 20 years. We really are, as a community of Blacks, whether we're in the Caribbean, which is a nice place, whether we're in America, which is a better place, or in this crazy place, Nigeria, where I'm sitting right now. We are going to be tested as Black people. We need to continue to strengthen our communities. We need to continue to bring our people together, continue to be excellent. Everyone cannot slack. That means whatever you do, you have to get up every day and do it better every single day. Not just yesterday, but tomorrow also, even when you don't feel like it. I think one of the things that holds us back as African people, whether in the diaspora or here, is that a lot of us are mediocre. That's the truth. The truth is a lot of us are not as great as we think we are. We have a lot of work to do. I mean, if we are competing against the Chinese, then we are going to fail. I'm not assessing us against any white man. I'm not assessing us against Americans. I'm assessing us against the next up. And when I think about how steadfast Chinese people are, and when I think about how steadfast and intelligent and brilliant that many Asian people are, I really feel like as much as we complain about the States and the changing of the guard, do we have what it takes to compete? Are we competitive as Africans? As I sit in Nigeria, I just drove back home. I would dare to say that we're not that competitive as Blacks anywhere. We have a lot to do. If you don't know 2 or 3 languages, go and learn. If you're not the best reader, get better. If you're not good at math, learn. That's what I have to say. I just think that there is enough excuse making amongst us as African people. And I think that is really where we're at. We have to develop ourselves before we think about developing any country, whether it's called Jamaica, whether it's called Barbados, whether it's called Cape Verde, whether it's called Nigeria. All these places need work, and it's because we need work. And that's my submission tonight. Otherwise, I want you guys to be blessed. God bless you all. I want you to enjoy your holidays. You know I love you. All of you, every last one of you on this panel, I have great love for you all. I respect you all deeply. And that's my contribution, a Black beauty.
Does that include KJ? How can it possibly include KJ? Eh? Eh?
Leave KJ alone. I don't understand. You all have a problem with
KJ is my mother.
Especially KJ.
KJ. You stress me.
Strength and faith, oh yeah.
Father.